formation, you see Reds 8 and 9 moving to the left and right as they go into Big Vixen. Coming in from the left, the smoke will come on in Big Vixen. Leading the team this year is Red 1. That's going to be a John Bond. He's new for this year. He's been previously in the team as Reds 2, 7 and 6. As Reds 8 and 9 perform a while back, take the shape into what is known as Fred. John Bond, known as Bondy Red 1, he's a former Typhoon pilot and he's also the former qualified flying instructor and display pilot from 2012 on the Tucano. You now see the team start to make their play forwards, 8 and 9 at the back and move alongside Reds 8 and 9. And it was only the beginning of this month where we celebrated the 80th anniversary of Operation Overlord, which of course was the D-Day operations and the storming of the beaches by the Allied forces in Normandy. And in celebrating to that operation, to those that took part and more importantly to pay tribute to those that did not come back, this is Spitfire. To the right of Red 1 is Red 2, that's scrum leader Chris McCann, known as Creamy. After training, Creamy was immediately made into an instructor where he instructed on the Tucano before joining the famous 617, the Dan Mustard Squadron, where he actually received an Air Force Cross for his services on operations over Afghanistan. His opposite number on the left hand side is Red 3, First Lieutenant Dustin Wales, known as Dusty. Originally from Zimbabwe, former Typhoon pilot with 11 Squadron at RAF Coventry. You see the smoke from 4 and 5 as either side of the centre section make the sails rearwards. And November 2023 was the 20th anniversary of the famous flight, of the last flight of one of the most famous aircraft in history. As the team roll out, on the left hand side there is no mistaking the majestic shape of the Concorde. There are actually 11 pilots in the Red Arrows. You have Reds 1 through 9 who are displaying for you today. There's myself, Red 10. I'm a former Tornado GR4 pilot, former qualified flying shooter on the Hawk Team Mark 2. And we also have Officer Commanding Rafa Adam Collins, my predecessor as Red 10, former Tornado pilot, and he also flew the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. You'll see the wings are flexed forward for the colourful, coming in from the left, the colourful Phoenix.
In
the middle of that right wing uppermost is Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Ollie Suckling. It's his second year on the team. He was Red 4 last year and he remained as Red 4 and took up the position known as Uncle Enid. That means he is the mentor and he helps Red 1 all the way through winter training to ensure that the new pilots on the team achieve and maintain the correct standards that we require of the Red Arrows. I mentioned that there are 11 pilots in the team, but however the Red Arrows is not just about the pilots. We have a team of over 140 personnel, and over 120 of them are the engineers, the mechanics, the technicians, the logisticians, the PR, the administrators. They are known as the Blues. Named the Blues due to the colour of their flying coveralls that they wear. Coming in to the right, you now see the team have made two distinctive rows as the smoke comes on for Chevron.
It'd be funny if they were having a laugh.
On the front of that first row on the far left hand side is Red 5, that's Flight Lieutenant George Hudday. George is also in his first year of the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot, having flown with 11 Squadron RAF Coventry. He's also taken part in operations over Syria and Iraq, as well as the Eastern Europe Air Policing Patrol in the face of the aggressive Russia. I mentioned we have the Blues on the team. We also have 11 individuals who get to fly in the back of our aircraft in between displays when we cannot take the full engineering complement. They are known as Circus. One individual with me at every display is Circus 10. Couple throw guys out on the beach today, filming the display for debriefing and safety purposes. As the team roll in from the left, you'll see the most popular, if not the most popular manoeuvre we fly. Get your cameras ready, it's Tornado! The ball colour is made by Red 9 as Reds 8 and 9 roll around the formation. As the rest of the team put the colour on, and Red 1 flies the team down the line. The front aircraft for that formation you might be able to see are flying with their air brakes out. That's a small door at the back of the aircraft underneath the belly of the airplane. This has twofold effects. The first effect is that it makes the pilots fly with a higher throttle setting, thereby it produces a hotter engine gas temperature and it makes the smoke burn a lot more brightly. In addition to that, it makes the airflow outside the back of the airplane a lot more disturbed, and it makes the smoke billow and make it fuller for certain manoeuvres. And that's why in certain manoeuvres we'll use the air brake out to enhance those manoeuvres. You now see Reds 8 and 9 have rejoined the rest of the formation as Red 1 continues to bring them around to the left. And this is your last chance to get a picture of the world famous Red Arrows in our world famous Diamond 9. In from the right, the smoke comes on once again, the 2024 Red Arrows. As we now start to go into the second half of the show, you'll see a manoeuvre not used since 2003. Get your cameras ready for the 5-4 split. The team will now start into two separate sections. You have Reds 1 through 5 off to the right hand side. They are known as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And you have Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9 off to the left. They are known as Hannah, named after Scrumley or Ray Hannah, one of the first members of the Red Arrows, the only team leader to lead for 4 years. And it took us from a 7 to a 9 and formed our Diamond 9. Enid from the right, Hannah from the left, for the 5-4 cross. Keep your eye on Enid to the left-hand side. The Red Arrows were formed in 1964 and our first display was in 1965. We were actually formed from 3 different display teams. The Red Pelicans, the Black Arrows and the Yellow Jacks. We took the red from the Red Pelicans, the arrows from the Black Arrows to give us our name. And of course we took the aircraft from the Yellow Jacks. And in tribute to that aircraft, Enid from the right, the smoke will come on for the formation known as Nat. The Red Arrows flew the Nat aircraft all the way up until 1980, which is when we took over and started flying the Hawk Team Mark 1, which is still the aircraft we fly today. And the Hawk itself is actually 50 years old this year. Look directly to your front for Hannah. The red and blue will come on for the Hannah break. He's off to your right hand side with the white smoke on. That's Flight Lieutenant Stuart Roberts. Stuart is in his 3rd and final year in the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot with both 11 and 12 squadrons at RAF Coventry in Lincolnshire. Each pair will now dive down to only 100 feet above the beach. They'll have a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. Get your cameras ready for the Hannah pass. 8 and 9 going up and down on the roller coasters. Red 6 and 7 remain flat. Red 6 and 7 now turning hard away from each other. Red 7 off to the right hand side is scrum leader Tom Hansfield. Second year of the team, a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified weapons instructor on the Typhoon, as they now turn towards each other to complete the manoeuvre known as Cyclone. As the synchro pair lead directly to our front, look to your far left hand side, and you can see Red 9 running in. Red 9 from the left is Flight Lieutenant Patrick Kershaw, known as Paddy. Paddy in his third and final year on the team. He's a former Tornado GR4 pilot and former Typhoon pilot. You'll see him now turn hard to the left, the blue smoke comes on as he lines up with Enid for the Goose. And Red 9 puts on the red, white and blues. He continues that climb as Enid now come off to our left hand side, smoking our famous red, white and blue. As Enid goes off to the left hand side, look directly to your front near the Spinnaker over Portsmouth. You can see the nose lights of Hannah. That's Red 6 and 7 running in. The smoke will come on, get your cameras ready, you do not want to miss this one. As the synchro smoke comes on, they part for the world famous Synchro Heart. And coming in from the right hand side to spear the heart is Red 8. Red 8 is Flight Lieutenant Rich Walker, followed by Harrier pilot, Typhoon pilot and qualified flying instructor on the hall. Let's give Red 6, 7 and 8 a massive round of applause for wonderful heart over the skies of Ryde. And of course, Red 9 would like to dedicate the heart today and on Forces Day to all our veterans, our serving personnel, whether they're on operations at home and abroad, and of course our friends and families who support us in all our operations and military work. Keep your eye on Red 6 and 7 once again. Red 6 off to the right, Red 7 off to the left. Once again, they'll dive down to 100 feet. They're looking to pass each other in the middle by only 30 metres, that's 100 feet. They'll go on sighting at the last opposition second for the opposition barrel roll. As the synchro pair finish their manoeuvres off to the left hand side, coming over the pier, we'll now see Enid. They've now been joined by Reds 8 and 9. The smoke is on for corkscrew. And you can see that famous red, white and blue. That red, white and blue is only capable due to the smoke cone. It's the small tank over the bottom of the aeroplane. That smoke cone is capable of producing approximately 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of red smoke and 1 minute of blue smoke. And each colour selected by its own individual button on the pilot's control column. And through training, we ensure our smoke plan is carefully choreographed so that we do not miss out the smoke or get the colour smoke wrong and we have enough to last the show. However, keep looking to your left, keep looking to your right, looking for the synchro pair running back in. You've got Red 6 this time coming from the left and Red 7 coming in from the right. Once again, with a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. Get your cameras ready for the colourful and dynamic carousel. Each aircraft passing with only 30 metres, each of them changing their colour as they pull. Now 5 to 6 times, 5 to 6G, which means everything about them is now weighing 5 to 6 times heavier than what you and I are as we are standing on the beach. Both aircraft now working hard. Red 7 coming in from the right, looking to pass Red 6 with only 30 metres, completing the carousel. As the synchro pair leave, look to your front right, 45, and you can see Enid running back in with the white smoke in trail. 4 and 5 perform a rollback to produce the hood of a serpent known as the Cobra. And red 1 starts to bring them around to our left hand side, once again demonstrating that red, white and blue. You'll now see reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 move their sails forward. Now they're going to be looking all the way down their left and right shoulders, 90 degrees left and right, looking at red 1. All our formation references are taken off red 1. So the guys on the outside of the wings are looking through the next aircraft towards red 1. An extremely hard formation to maintain with your head all the way to the left and right. The smoke will come on for the Tango present. As Enid lead to our front left, coming in once again from the left hand side, you've got Hannah, that's red 6, 7, 8 and 9, starting to appear over the pier. Red 6 and 7 roll inverted as they present the mirror pass. And you can see reds 6 and 7 now flying inverted, creating that mirror image between 9 and 8 underneath. Red 6 and 7 working hard against that negative G, all the blood rushing into their head, working hard to make sure they remain conscious through the entire manoeuvre. With red 6 and 7 rolling out, coming off to the left as they complete the mirror flat pass. As Hannah leaves to our right hand side, once again coming in from the left hand side, you've got Enid. You can see their nose lights twinkling in the distance. 2 and 3 roll goes, 2, 3 roll to the outside. Clear goes, works 4 and 5 roll to the outside. In one of the hardest manoeuvres for our new pilots to master each year. This is the rollbacks. As Enid disappears to our right, look directly to your front once again, you've got red 6, 7, 8 and 9. As I said earlier, 2024 is our celebration of our 60th season. It's our diamond season this year. Get your cameras ready for the red smoke of 9, the blue smoke of 8, as we celebrate 60 display seasons. Reds 8 and 9 drawing a wonderful 60 in the sky. Red 6 and 7 great once again. They put up to about 1,000 feet and they turn back towards the display line for their final manoeuvre of the show. Once again, a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour, down at only 100 feet above the shoreline. For the colourful and dynamic, it's the Synchro Double Rolls. Synchro pair leave to our rear, look directly to your front over the small ships in the distance. You can see the nose lights of Enid plus 8 and 9. Getting themselves ready for the Vixen break. But Ryde on first day, it's been an honour and a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2024 Real Life Boys on Right team. It's the Red Arrow!